Hey everyone, welcome back to another class here at Shiage Do Martial Arts. Today is Monday, so we're going to be doing some basics, but we're going to change them up a little bit. One of the things that kind of helps disguise the repetition of doing the same things in karate over and over again is changing up how you do it. So for instance, basics. Basics themselves don't change very much. The 15 upper body basics and the 15 and a half lower body basics are always the same. You always step right, punch right. It's always step left, punch right, whatever. It's always the same every time you do it, which is good when you're trying to build muscle memory, but it's also good to kind of like mix up those signals a little bit. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do our basics, but from a horse stance. So every stance we do is going to be in a horse stance. Our basics are going to change a little bit because of that to make them make more sense. So we're going to get started right into it. So we're going to start in a horse stance. And when I'm in my horse stance, I'm basically, think about, I'm going towards the corner, but it's always going to be the front corner. So when I step in, it's always going to be the front corner here. So I'm kind of like stepping forward, but not straight forward. It's going to kind of like zigzag all the way up. So we're going to start with the first one, and it's going to be 2 punches. Okay? So it's just ready, 1, 2 punch, 2, 2 punch, 2 punch, 2 punch. Shuffle back, do it full power. Ready, itch, knee, sun, sheet. Good. Next one is going to be uppercuts. So we're going to do 2 uppercuts. So we step out, horse, uppercut, uppercut, step, uppercut, uppercut, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2. Shuffle back. Do it full power. Ready, itch, knee, sun, sheet. Good. Moving on. Now we're going to do our down block and punch. So when we do this, I step in. It's going to be down block, punch in front. Step in, down block, punch in front. Step in, down block, punch in front. Instead of stepping back like we would normally do our basics. Okay? So, full power. Left foot forward. Itch. Knee. Sun. Sheet. Good. Switching it up. Side block punch. So same thing. So we're going to be in our horse stance. Side block, punch. Step. Side block, punch. Step. Side block, punch. Step. Side block, punch. Now if you're like a blue belt or higher, one of the things that you can start working on is getting your covers into your blocks when you're doing your basics. Okay? So think about like in Seisan, when I turn before I do my side block, even at the beginning, right? So we do our kata here, boom. Right? I do my covers. Right? There's always a cover. And something you kind of learn as you get up there a little bit. So it's going to be guarding my body. Instead of just coming from my hip, it's going to be a guard. It's going to be a guard. It's going to be a guard, right? So that if my punch is my block is a little slow, I'm not taking that punch, okay? So for side blocks, when we're doing this one, if you're like a blue belt or higher, I want you to start working. You're going to cross your arms like this. So you're going to start from here. One hand's on your shoulder, the other hand's down in front of your groin, and it comes in this way. Step. Block, step, block. All right, so I can keep my hand back on my hip, but it's going to start with a guard. So we're at the full power one. So itch, knee, sun, sheet. Good. All right, open hand side block, new kite. Same thing with these. I'm going to have my hands open though for my guard. Ready? Left foot forward. 1, step, open, stab. Step, open, stab. Step, open, stab. Right? So my guard comes down and around to make sure that I got good coverage. So with some power. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi. Good. Alright. Next one's going to be open hand head block, uppercut. So, from our corner, open hand head block, uppercut. Open hand head block, uppercut. Open hand head block, uppercut. Last one. Open hand head block, uppercut. Alright, let's do it with power. Ich, ni, san, shi. Good. Alright. Number 9. Head block, reverse punch. So nice and easy. Head block, reverse punch. Stepping out. Head block, reverse punch. Head block, reverse punch. Head block, reverse punch. Right? So, from here. Ich, ni, san, shi. Good. Alright. Next, we're going to add in that nose pop. So, head block, nose pop punch. Step in. Head block, nose pop punch. Next, head block, nose pop punch. Last one, head block, nose pop punch. Good. So, full power. Ich, ni, san, shi. Awesome. Next, down block, 5 punches. So from here, step, and this one actually we're going to step back. So normally we step forward with this one, so we're going to change it up a little bit. So this one we're going to step back. So we'll start up nice and close, step back, down block, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step back, down block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step back, down block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, step back, down block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, with key eye on the first punch. Okay? So, with key eyes. Ich. Oops. My bad. Let's do that again. You ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Good. And even with them doing it for power, I'm still getting that cover in there. Alright, so blue belts and above, make sure you're working on that. Side block, 5 punches. Same thing, we're going to step back. So we're going to start nice and close. Step back. Side block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step back. Step back again. Side block, 5 punches. And last one. Now my cover for these comes here. So my hand is kind of like dipping below my belt to protect my groin. And my other hand's up here. So if I take a punch in the solar plex, I'm really just getting punched in the arm. Here. Okay? So, starting up close, stepping back. Ready? Good. Alright, staying back here, shoot her down, shoot her to the jaw. So we're going to start from the back. Shoot her down, shoot her to the jaw. Step in. 1, 2. Step in. Down, up. And last one, down, shoot up. Good. Let's do it with some power. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Good. Alright. Push block, 2 biggie punches. This is the one I think shines the most in a horse stance. So we're going to step on our horse, push block, biggie punches. Step in, push block, biggie punch. Push, biggie punch. Push, biggie punch. Good. With some power. Remember, key eyes on the first biggie punch. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go. It's my favorite. We'll add an extra one. All right. Last but not least, let's break the bear hug. Now, break the bear hug, traditionally, you use your hips to kick back so that you can make some space with your elbow and throw their hands off with their headlock. But another option is to sit down so that they kind of lean forward here. Now, if they're leaning forward, their hips will automatically go back to try to keep them balanced. So if you drop your weight real fast and they lean forward like this, you're going to be able to do the same thing. So for this one, it's going to be set, pop. Set and pop. Set and pop. All right? So we'll do that one with full power. Ready? Hitch! Knee! Sun! Shi. Good. So remember, the purpose of doing your basics in a different manner is to get you a little bit of practice doing things a little bit differently, right? So a fight isn't clean. It's messy, it's sloppy, everybody's moving around. Nobody gets a good plan to work because everybody's trying to do too many things. You're getting tired, you're getting exhausted, your muscles hurt because they've been punched or kicked or bit or whatever. You know, things stop working and they don't end up happening the way you want them to. So what it's important to do is teach your body how to move so that it works, okay? Because the closer you can get to that, the better, the better things will actually turn out for you, okay? So for instance, if I got my heavy bag here. Now ideally, if I'm doing a straight punch, I'm gonna be, about my forearm's distance away from my body, right? So my elbow's here. That gives me enough space to hit, extend, and retract. So I can get the most possible force out of my punch. And I get my hips into it, boom, and everything works out grand, okay? However, fights are messy. This person might be here, and I might have to do that same thing. So what do I have to do? Well, now in order to punch, I have to get my hips to move even more. And unfortunately, if I move my hips even more, he might see what's coming and be able to block it, right? Or brace for it. So if I bring my punch all the way back here, I can still deliver most of that power, okay? Even though I'm close, because I'm still getting the core concept of that is my hips are the things doing the punching, right? So if my hips start back here, my punch is strong. If my hips start up here, I'm only using my arm, okay? Your arms aren't that strong. Try walking on your hands all day, okay? It doesn't work very well. Most people can't do it for a couple minutes. Go in a handstand against the wall and stay there, and for 1 minute, all right? Chances are, before the end of that minute, you're thinking about coming down already. Now, if I were on my legs, I can stand like this for a minute. In fact, I can even stand like this for a minute and be on one leg. But I'm pretty sure I can't be on one arm for a minute because that's really hard, okay? So when you punch, you want to punch with your strongest muscles. Your strongest muscles are in your legs. The only way you get your leg muscles into your punch is by using your hips, okay? Now when we change it up and I force you to be in a different stance, you have to figure out how to get your hips to move in that different stance. And maybe you're in a horse stance because somebody kicked your leg and now your feet are apart. Maybe you're in a horse stance, maybe you're in a cat stance because you're against the wall and you're trying to be able to kick them. Maybe you stepped in and it's kind of like a crane stance because somebody's pulling you. Whatever the case may be, you got to be able to do your basics. So If you're bored outside of this video, so what we just did is enough for today. But if you're bored outside of this video, one of the things you can practice is being in different stances and doing your basics and seeing how they work. Try it from Masubidachi. See how well your attention stance. See how well your punches and stuff go when your feet are touching each other. Try doing it from a crane stance. See how good your punches are when your hips are already maxed out twisted. It should be easy on one side and hard on the other. Okay? But trying stuff like that, experimenting with how your body reacts to the stuff that you already know, is how you move your karate to the next level. Okay? That's how you go from being just a karate person to being a good karate person. All right? Speaking for myself, I'm always doing this kind of thing. Doing basics differently, doing katas differently, doing, generally anything. What does it look like when I switch hands, right? If I'm doing bow work, and a couple of you guys have had the pleasure of me making you do this before, right? Everybody does their bow stuff with their right hand in front, their left hand in back, all right? What happens if you do it this way? All right, it's way different, right? What happens if I make you do it with just one hand? Well, it's way different, right? So you have to figure that out. If you're above an advanced green belt, so if you're blue belt or higher, I guess, and you want to try for a real challenge today, try doing tokomini with one hand on the bow. All right, so when you do the whole kata, Kyotsuke, Rei, tokomini, it's one hand. See how hard that is. Chances are it's pretty hard, right? And if it was easy, try it with your other hand, because I'm guessing that you did it with your favorite hand, so your other hand will be quite hard. All right. So if you're an upper belt looking for a special challenge, that's it for today. We're gonna go through Seisan kata. I'm gonna do it twice. Okay. Now, if you're a yellow belt and you're doing this kata, you guys should be trying to practice this kata at least 2 times a day, every day. All right? So that way when we get to the Zoom classes and I can see it, you guys are doing your best and you have a better idea of what you're doing. All right? Now, if you want, you can use this part of this video over and over and over again. The cool part of these videos being on YouTube is you guys can watch this an infinite number of times. You can't wear YouTube out, okay? So, watch a video, do whatever you need if this helps. If it's not helping, then there's other resources. We have all the katas written out that have been sent out. They're also available on the Dojo Expert, where it's words instead of video. So, whichever one is more useful to you, use it, right? So, Seisan kata. Yasumi? Kyotsuke, Rei, Seisan kata, Hajime. So step left, side block left, punch right. Step right, punch left, step left, punch right. Shuffle, chamber in the middle, look to the left corner but shuffle forward. Double head block towards the corner. Look over your left shoulder, turn your feet all the way around. Seisan stance to the back, your left foot forward, double shoot ups. Circle step right, roots block right, grab right, pull. Circle step, roots block left, make sure this is a good down block. Grab and pull. Step right, roots block, grab and pull. I'm going to look to my left, Mizugami side. I'm going to turn to my left. I'm going to do a side block, 2 punches, a front kick, and a punch. Look to the back, turn, keep looking, and turn. So now I'm facing my right side. I'm going to do a side block, punch, punch, a front kick, and a punch. Look to the back, turn, side block, 2 punches, a front kick, and a punch. Turn my back foot, bend my knees, reach underneath, and break. In a horse stance, I'm going to look over my right shoulder, bring my left foot to my right foot, draw back cat stance. Slide up, Masubidachi, head block, nose block. Draw back cat stance. I'm going to stomp, step into crane, front kick, step over Seisan, down block, reverse punch, turn my left foot, sit down in my horse stance, reach my right hand under my left hand, and my left hand comes back to my hip for my break. Look over my left shoulder, bring my feet together, draw back, slide up in a Subadaki, head lock, nose bob, draw back cat stance, left foot forward. I'm going to stomp, step in front crane, front kick left, set off to left foot forward Seisan, down lock, reverse punch. Turn my right foot, bend my knees, reach my left under my right, and bring my right to my hip for my break. Look over my right shoulder, bring my feet together, and draw back. Step out deep front stance, right foot forward, head block, nose bob, step over Seisan, right foot forward, down block punch, turn my left foot, bend my knees, reach underneath my right hand, pull my left hand to my hip, and break. I'm going to step straight back cat stance, opening side block, left, shift, front kick, right, set back, punch, circle behind in my cat stance, so I'm left foot forward cat stance, big guard, catch, and break. So this next one I'm going to do for me at about 75%, okay? I think if I did it at 100%, it's only going to help one or two of you. I think if I do it at 75%, it'll help the majority of you, okay? So what I want you to do, watch this kata, watch the confidence that I have in the techniques, watch the pace that I have between my techniques, okay? So my punches and my kicks are going to be really fast, but my steps and my circle steps and stuff like that are going to be slow. I'm taking my time. When you guys are doing this, you can copy that timing, okay? It's going to be a little quick for some of you, but for the rest of you, it'll be spot on. All right? So, Seisan kata, Sensei Mikowski, 75%. We'll do this. This me. Josuke. Great. Seisan. Hajime. So as I said, for some of you, that's going to be a little quick, all right? But for most of you, if you guys are advanced orange or higher, you should be working up to your full speed, 100% power kata, looking pretty close to that, all right? Now, I'm not perfect by any means. I make mistakes too, but if you can get close to what I'm at now, by the time you get to that, then I'll have some of my other mistakes corrected, and we'll keep making each other better. So, do your best, all right? So, the last thing I want to do for today is some terminology for our blocks. So we've done kicks, we've done punches, we've done stances. We have not done blocks yet. So I want to do some block terms. So the Japanese word for block is uki. Now uki means to receive, right? It's a verb, or it can be used as a verb. So it's to receive. So when you're saying you're doing a block, you're receiving the other person's technique. And that's kind of an insight into how the Okinawans view, their sparring and their punches and kicks and stuff. To block somebody's technique is to receive it, right? So we start with the chunks of your body. We've got Jodan, which is your head chunk, Chudan, which is your middle chunk, and Geidan, which is your bottom chunk, okay, from like your hips down. So we have Jodanuki is head block. Chudanuki is side block. And then there's a special word we use for down block because it's a sweeping motion, right? Instead of being a hard block where just bam, it's a sweeping motion. So we call it Geidan Barai. Barai means sweep, right? So we have Jodanuki, Chudanuki, Geidan Barai. Do it with me. You ready? Jodanuki, Chudanuki, Geidan Barai. Jodanuki, Chudanuki, Geidan Barai. Good, one more. Jodanuki, Chudanuki, Geidan Barai. Good. Now, in addition to these, we can add some words to describe how we're blocking. So we have our open hand side block, which uses the blade part of my hand, which is a shudo. So we have shudo chudanuki. We also have your pan, which is tisho. So a push block would be tisho chudanuki. Okay? So we have chudanuki, a regular side block. Shudo chudanuki, which would be a blade hand block, knife hand block. Or tisho chudanuki. Okay? So let's try those. Ready? Shudo chudanuki. Tisho chudanuki. Shudo jodanuki. Tisho jodanuki. Shudo chudanuki. Tisho chudanuki. Shudo jodanuki. Tisho jodanuki. Okay? Now, in addition, we have our reinforced blocks. Right? So our reinforced blocks are sase uki. So S-A-S-E uki is reinforced block. Right? So in Seishan, boom, sase uki. Right? We have our forearm. The Japanese word for forearm is ude. So if I come in here, this could be called a chudanuki, just like this can be called a chudanuki, just like this can be called a chudanuki, because they're all middle blocks. But if I want to be specific, I can say ude waru, which means rolling, uki. So ude waru uki would be forearm rolling block, rolling forearm block. Yes? So if you know the parts of your body, Chudan, Jodan, Geidan, and you know what your hand parts are called, Shudo, Tisho, Ude, you can add in the technique to kind of describe what kind of block you're doing. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. Some of you have heard this before, but this is why I think it's important to learn Japanese words. 2 years ago, we went to the World Championship tournament, and it happened to be hosted in New Jersey. Now, when we went there, there were literally people from all over the world. And in my division alone, we had, I think, 4 different countries represented. Now, my division is the adult black belt, 3rd to 5th degree, 19 to 34-year-olds. So one of the guys that I actually worked with a lot was from Chile, the country Chile. He spoke maybe 100 words of English. And I don't speak any, I think it's Portuguese. I don't even know what language he was speaking, to be perfectly honest. But when we were working together, because we both had Japanese words, we were able to convey what it was that we wanted to be doing with our partner. So when we were doing a partner exercise, and it was a push block to step off to the side, punch, knee smash, front kick, or something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a lot of fun. When one of us, when we were in a big seminar like that, usually what happens is they show you something once, maybe twice, and then you're just doing it. There's no like explaining or whatever, and you might have 5 or 6 masters walking around, but those masters only got to see it once or twice also. So they might not be able to answer your question about the specifics of what it is that you're trying to do because it's not their material. Well, in this particular instance, myself and this gentleman from Chile who were working together, we were trying to, I had caught like the first half of it, he had caught like the second half of it, and we were correcting each other when we were doing stuff about front leg, back leg, whether it was a reverse punch or an uppercut or a stab or whatever. And because we had the Japanese words, we were able to communicate with each other and make each other successful. Honestly, it was the most fun I've had in a long time, to be able to do something like that and to be able to throw the Japanese words in there. It was awesome because I've been learning Japanese words too, and I've been learning them since I was 10. So I got 20 years of, basic Japanese under my belt, and, or more specifically karate Japanese, because I have a hard, before I started teaching myself the rest of the language, the karate won't give you enough to have a conversation unless it's about karate. So, it is what it is. But it's very important, I think, to learn this because you guys have that opportunity to meet people from other countries all the time. I think it was about 8 months ago, we had a guest instructor, also from Chile, that was Portugal. They were definitely from Portugal, came up and went to Sensei Gail's school in Webster. And although they spoke decent English, they had Japanese words too, and that was what was selling, what it is that you needed to do. So if they were having a hard time describing something in English because they just don't, it's not their primary language, they don't have all those words, they were able to pull in Japanese words to describe what it is that they were doing. So that's why I think it's super cool. That's why I encourage you guys to learn them. At the very least, you should know your basic blocks, punches by the time you're done with your yellow belt. You should know your basic stances and kicks by the time you're done with your advanced yellow belt. Your hand weapons in Japanese by the time you're done with an orange belt. And then I give you a half dozen more, throughout your karate career. So if you know what they are, it makes it simple. If you don't practice them, then it kind of becomes a pain when you're at black belt testing and somebody's like, my waru came in. You're like, what? And that's front rolling break fall, by the way. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave you for today with the karate stuff. Let's get to the announcements. So announcements. We got the Zoom classes. So this week we've got Sensei Bill running our Zoom class. We're going to have the kids class from 5 to 5:40, the adult class from 5:50 to 6:30, and then we're going to jump right into the Sensei Bill's running a half-hour seminar from 6:30 to 7. So if you can make it to that, make sure you do. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's definitely a great instructor. I've been working with him forever. He's got a lot of good information. So make sure you can show up to that if you're willing to stick around. We've got the Avatar Challenge workout. So I've been doing them this whole time. This is day 4 for me. I just actually before this finished up the workout for today. There's a lot of stretches and holdouts and stuff like that. But if you haven't started and you want to start, it's not too late. All right. Just because you didn't start on May 1st doesn't mean you can't start on Star Wars Day. Today's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. All right. So, don't be afraid to start that. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the progress, because every workout has a little thing at the top of, what skill this is upping. And then you got a little status bar at the end of it, and you can fill out your status bar. So I'm filling out my status bar to put it on Facebook, a couple times a week, once a week, whatever, just so that, you guys stay fresh in your mind. But if you guys want to do that with me, do it with me. Take a picture of your status sheet, throw it up there too. I mean, that's pretty cool. All right. Other than that, I got nothing for the moment. You guys are awesome. All right. You guys are dismissed. Puss.